Okay, at this time we have public hearing regarding the community benefits agreement. We have Mr. Chairman, you want to present Mr. Palladino and the introduction?
Yes, Madam Council President, members of council, this matter is actually a first impression before council. I don't believe we've ever done this before. The reason being the state legislature enacted the New Jersey Economic Recovery Act of 2020, establishing the New Jersey Aspire Act to encourage economic development, growth, job growth, and retention, and community partnerships across the state of New Jersey. As we all come to know, the H1 project, also known as the HELIX Building 1, was approved last year under the Aspire program. As a condition of that approval, the developer, New Jersey Innovation Associates Urban Renewal LLC, is required to enter into a community benefits agreement with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority and the city of New Brunswick, where the project is located. In connection with tonight's presentation and hearing for questions and answers, there are 3 areas of contribution that are proposed in connection with the community benefits agreement. They're set forth in some detail in Resolution 51. I know that Mr. Palladino and his group are here representing the developer, and I don't want to take any thunder away from him or his staff members to explain the 3 facets of the community benefits agreement. And then I suspect if any member of the public should have any question, we can open it up to questions and then conclude with closing that particular hearing. Mr. Palladino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Council President, members of the council, Mr. Trulis. It's a pleasure to be here. This is not only a matter of first impression here in New Brunswick. I believe it's only the 2nd community benefits agreement which has been considered by any council in the state of New Jersey. And I'm not sure how many more will be done because the legislature that amended the program and the Aspire program that does residential does no longer has to, is required to do community benefits. But since Mr. Chairman did my first page, I'll go right to the 2nd page. But we are recommending 3 contributions to the city of New Brunswick under the statute. The first being for the next 2 years of our construction period, continuing with 2 additional classes of our training to hire program, which does take individuals in the city and the surrounding communities, put them through a training program, and we've been very successful at getting those individuals into the building trades or into the construction business. That will amount to a monetary contribution of approximately $200,000 over the next 2 years. The second program that we would like to continue to support for summers of 24 and 25 is the program that's run by the Youth Advocate Program and the Leaders in Training. So in 24 and 25, we would, I think we've done this for 2 summers already. We'll do the next 2 years and, hopefully encourage others in the community and other developers to do this, to continue to make this kind of a regular program. But that has a monetary value of $256,000 over the next 2 years. And then one that I find interesting, because it's nothing we've been involved before, is that we are recommending putting $1 million in a trust account for the city, at the city's discretion, at the mayor's discretion, to use over the next 10 years. He can use it over the next 2 years if he likes, the next 3 years if he likes. But those programs, for programs that the statute specifically talks about, is that programs that are intended to improve the community's health, safety, access to opportunities, recreational opportunities, environmental resilience, environmental quality, the general quality of life in the city, and other locally prioritized community programs. So instead of us picking and choosing, this allows the city to have that money We'll put it into a trust account, an interest-bearing account. The interest will go to the city. And we'll do that within the next 60 days, within 60 days of the document being signed. And at any time at that point, the city can just request us in writing to, that they want $10,000 for Code Blue or $150,000 for a park, and then we would immediately send it to the city for that reason. Or we're directed, if it was directed to a community group. So I think it really is a flexible grant from the program, but I think could be quite effective. So, any questions you have?
Any questions from my colleagues? Before I open the floor, any questions? Thank you, Mr. Palladino. At this time, we are preparing to open the public hearing for any public comments on the presentation of the Immediate Benefits Agreement. You may come up. You have up to 5 minutes. One person, one time up.
Good evening, Council. Charlie Prattville, Brunswick today. I wanted to ask how the trust fund would be administered. Based on the representations I just heard, the mayor could write a letter and have monies expended for any purpose he chooses. Would the council play any role? Is there any, controls or checks and balances that you want to see on this $1 million?
Can I explain
Yes,
one additional thing? The statute requires the appointment of, and the mayor hasn't, I don't believe has done it yet, of 3 members of the public. And I think it specifically says that someone who has a business in town, someone who lives in town, and I'm not sure what the third is. Every year they need to report to the EEA on the progress of any donations that are made. So they'll be reporting to the state of how it's done. The statute is, and I defer to Mr. Shelby, but the statute's silent with respect to how it's administered vis-a-vis the different parts of the municipal government.
Mr. Shelby, do you have anything to add?
No, what Mr. Palladino says is accurate. The statute does provide for a 3-person, 3-member board, which reviews all the requests.
Okay.
It is highly regulated and monitored by the EPA, and the spending has to come within the parameters of the statute.
Thank you for the information. I guess I'm curious if the 3-member board would have open public meetings or, public input, any sort of regular schedule or structure.
Is that required?
Now, I do not see that within the statute. I haven't read it many times. I could always go back and take a look. That board is advisory in its context.
Right, but nothing preventing them from having open public
Well, this is
meetings,
something,
public
Mr.
input.
Carroll, we hear you and appreciate that we will be able to give updates also some of the things that have been happening with the programs.
Yeah, I guess with the genesis of my concern is I know we have a number of boards and commissions already in the city, and some of them are not functioning, or at least not functioning as originally intended. I know the taxi commission is an example. I know there's others that have not been following through on the schedule set forth or being active. So I'm concerned if this ends up being a 3-person board that all they do is they sign a document once a year to rubber stamp what choices the administration's made, rather than being an actual venue to gather input, make smart decisions about what to do with the money, and make those decisions in public so that everybody can see how those decisions were arrived at and what amounts are going to go to what thing, instead of having to wait for an annual report. So I would just encourage the city to structure this in a way where there is meaningful public input and actually, in this room or somewhere else public, a chance to witness these decisions being made about how to spend this funding. That's all.
Anybody else from the public?
Yes, Danielle Moore. I have to say I would agree with Mr. Prattville was just saying, due to where somewhere we can keep an eye on what the money is going towards. But my main reason for stepping up, due to where I heard the word Code Blue. I will say it again, even though yes, it was increased $60,000, $150,000, due to where, like I said, wow, to only hold, 27, due to where I seen the mark of being 664 homeless on the census, a report that I seen, even though I know it's much higher than that with the homeless, due to where we got over 3,000 guests. But I would say hoping, as I mentioned before, something more to help out with Cold Blue, due to where some people don't feel safe with leaving their stuff in there being stolen. So like I said, my ideas with Cold Blue, and also Mr. Jones, where Keith Jones, where he was saying people were asking some type of lockers, like I said, more space, due to where, 27 spaces for someone to sleep. I just have to say, we can do better. And then I mentioned as well, due to where you have enough men's shelters, but it's time for New Brunswick to have a women's shelter, due to where I'm seeing a lot of women, and then also a lot of women coming towards me asking when are they going to do a women's shelter in New Brunswick. But like I said, my main thought is due to where what Mr. Cradaville was saying, I would love to see, due to where what this money is going to go to, keep it on balance. And for example, the reason why I'm saying that, I know the city received over $324,000 to help with addiction, but I still haven't heard any word. What is it going towards? What is it helping? So yes, like for example, yes, I would like to, like Mr. Cradaville said, keep everything on record, due to where I have to say every person that works for the city is not honest.
And as it was said before, this is something that we would like. We have experts in our administration, and the mayor has been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty sure he knows that. And with the panel that he has, the advisory panel, will utilize those funds to what is most needed for our residents and for the best of the residents. So I'm sure of that. And if once it starts and everything, I will ask for I will give updates and see how everything's going. And thank you, Mr. Palladino. Thank you for being here. Anything else?
Madam Council President, actually the statute does provide for updates to council and the mayor. If there are no more public comment, I would ask just for a motion to close the public comment period relative to this matter.
Motion.
Roll call.
Councilmember Castañeda.
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Abstain.
Duly noted.